Well, you know, frankly, we were angry about Game 6. You know, we didn't want to go to a Game 7. We felt we had Game 6 in hand. We made that nice comeback, and we felt we had it in hand, and then we let it slip away, and we were angry about that. And I think that anger spilled over into Game 7. Our guys were really locked in from the very first minute. I really feel that they could feel the energy of the crowd, the 54,000 there that were here. You know, just from the very first basket when we scored, when Justin scored on the first basket. It was just, it's hard to explain, but you could just feel the energy of the players just go up. And you know, we kept saying in the timeouts, you know, no one's going to get tired today. No one's playing tired today. We're just going to battle through. And when we got that lead, I think it just kind of kept us purposeful. You know, we knew what we wanted to do out there. It was working for us, and we stayed with it. And that just so much credit, you know, goes around. I can't really point at one guy or one moment or one time. It's all spread around. You know, I wish we knew exactly what geared us to play this well tonight. If I did, I'd put it into a bottle and sell it to all the other coaches. But I don't know. I don't know what we did. But I do know we came out a little angry, and I do know that the energy from the crowd really boosted us to levels I don't think we thought we could get to against this team.
Coach, are you expecting the winner of 8-7 Ames display?
Not at all. Not at all. We were, like I said, we were totally surprised at how well we played and that we were able to handle Bay Area. And the only explanation we can really give is that the crowd really lifted us into that kind of performance. You know, when you have that massive crowd behind you, you play better than you are. And we played better than we are today. And every person in that Coliseum was important to this win. And so we can't thank them enough for all showing up. Ironically, we didn't want to play a Game 7. We were, like I said, we were angry to have to play a Game 7. But I thought the guys put their anger where it needed to be and came out and played a really great one.
What was the instruction you gave to your players inside the dugout before entering the court?
I have no idea. It wasn't anything special. You know, we just wanted to keep things simple. We didn't want to make complex game plans. We wanted the players to come out and play to their instincts, not have to think too much, and just go out and play to their instincts and be aggressive. You know, don't be afraid to shoot the ball. And I thought Justin came out and kind of set that tone for us. You know, he was hitting shots early, and then that kind of got contagious for everybody else. Scotty hit a one, and Jamie had just a huge game tonight. And not just in scoring, but in offensive rebounding. I mean, blocking shots, running the floor. His energy level was off the roof tonight, and he was awesome. But again, everybody was. LA hit those two big threes that really extended our lead in late in the third quarter. You know, he played hurt the last two games. I really didn't think. I told my wife before. After Game 5, I told my wife, I came home, I said, I don't think LA is going to be a factor in the series the rest of the way. We're going to have to find someone to step up and step into his place, because I felt his injury was too severe. But he got a lot of help from the trainers. We got an outside trainer to come in and help us as well. And you know, they were basically doing therapy 24 hours a day at his house, and the practices everywhere, for the last 3 or 4 days, getting them ready. And he looked so much better today. He moved so much better today than he did Game 6.
Is there cash incentive promised by the owner to the players?
Say again?
Is there cash incentive promised by the owner to the players? Cash incentives?
Oh, no. No. You know, it's basically standard in our contract. That's all. There was no extra stuff or anything. For us, it was just another game. You know, hoping to win a championship and hoping to get a championship bonus. but nothing special. Nothing was announced. Anything that anybody said. So.
Coach, is this the toughest, one of the toughest championships because of the coaching?
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, Brian Gorgon is really special. I mean, I can honestly say that. He had to go through basically 3 different lineups through this series. One with Nicholson, and he played one way. Then he went all Chinese, and he played one way. And then he came out with Powell and played another way. And his team stayed in their flow and in their, when they lost to Nicholson, the spirit was incredible. Their motor really lifted instead it went down. They didn't feel sorry for themselves. Powell came off in Game 6, played a wonderful game. But I felt that, we could adjust to him a little better. And the 3 days off actually gave us a little bit more time to adjust to him and the way they played with him. So, but I look at that video, over and over and over again. We really study what the other coach is doing, and that's when you get into a series, that's when you really can get impressed by a coach, because all the adjustments, the things they did, taking advantage of, where Justin was guarding. He'd always change his offense depending on who Justin was guarding. And then where he put Blankley, where he put Lamb, and how they adjusted 2 of them. I mean, and when Yang went out, his adjustments there, just had me head scratching when I was watching the video. So I mean, he was really, really impressive, and it was really hard to keep up. And the bottom line is that we had a healthier lineup, I think, and they didn't. And if they had a healthier lineup all the way through, I don't know if I'd be at this podium right now.
Defending Powell, Scotty was defending him as well last.
Poor Scotty. We asked him to do so much, and he's the only superstar out there that's going to defend the import of the other team, that's going to handle the ball, is going to get every rebound. I mean, how many superstars is going to do all that? Do all the dirty work and still score, still assist, and still play at that energy level that he plays. He never relaxes. He always watches superstars play great in certain moments and great, not so great in other moments. They kind of go up and down because they are superstars. They can get away with it. Just none of that with Scotty. None of that. And the fact that we can ask him for 48 minutes to go out and guard a guy like Powell all the way, it's just truly amazing. He is an amazing player. Much more than I think people really appreciate. I know everybody appreciates him, but even though they appreciate him a lot, it's still not enough for all the things that he does. Amazing. Amazing, truly.
Coach, your thoughts on how Jamie played today? 22.7
Yeah, I mentioned him earlier. I mean, it wasn't really the points. I mean, the points were important for us, especially the 3-point shooting. He hit some really big 3-point shots tonight. But the energy level and his ability to get to the rebound, we challenged him before the game, and we told him that, Jamie, you got to be our best rebounder out there today. I mean, you got to go out there and you got to go attack every rebound. We told him there'll be other games where you'll get all the touches, and another year or 2 from now he'll get all the touches and he'll be our superstar. But for tonight, for this particular game, you got to go out and do all the dirty work with your great energy, get to every rebound, do whatever you can. And he did exactly that. And usually, you say that to a player, they can't do it. But he did it, and he did it exactly that. So, wow, great character win for him tonight, and showed up huge at a big time. And I rode my horses tonight. I rode Justin really hard. We played him 47 minutes, and I played Jamie. Jamie was cramping the last 5-6 minutes of the game. After the game, Christian Standhardiger was cramping also. He had to sit down. They had brought a chair from the stands and sat it down, and while we were around it, because he couldn't stand up anymore. So I rode the horses hard. I rode LA hard, considering that he was, had a terrible injury, and then obviously I rode Scotty really hard too, making him guard Powell for the last 2 games. So I rode my horses really hard tonight, and they really responded.
Coach, how special is it to, have Coach Justin in this game, helped him win another championship?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the journey's still ongoing for Justin. This isn't an end for him. He's going to go to a whole new level, play internationally, play for the national team. And I know he's so excited about that. Again, I want to emphasize he understands that he is the backup to Jordan Clarkson, and if Jordan's available, he will most likely be the guy. But Justin's just so happy and honored for the opportunity to represent the country and to play. So to me, this is not the end for him, winning tonight. This is just still the beginning for him. He's still got a whole new career ahead of him playing for the national team. And I think that's so special because he's a special guy. He deserves it. He's not only a great player, he's a great representative. He's going to represent the Philippines really well with the way he carries himself, with the way he plays the game, with the way he acts with his teammates, and the way he competes with the other team. He's going to be an example. And that's why I'm so proud to have him on the national team.
Coach Tim, this is Ginebra's Spider number 15, moving past Alaska and Magnolia, and you also coached Alaska and Magnolia before. So how special is this for Ginebra?
Yeah, it is. I mean, to think that I coached the other two teams and we passed them up. I'm sorry, but I still can't stop thinking about the time when we first came and they hadn't won in 8 years, and we were able to win that first championship on Justin's, this shot, and then gone from all the way there to here. We were just talking about the coaching staff just before the game. We looked over at Richard and Coach Kirk and said, "You realize we're almost on our 8th year together as a staff," and it's that continuity. The continuity of the staff being together, the continuity of having Justin there for those same time, just equates to success. And I'm tickled pink for Justin's success, and I'm tickled pink for Ginebra. And every day we come out here and we talk about the fans. Mark Kagiwa taught us how to do that, how to understand how important we are and what our mission is. And Mark always talked about that, what our mission is, and it's always been, we do this for the fans. And 54,000 people tonight, man. So that makes it so special.
Coach, you've now coached the 2 games with the biggest crowd attendance in PBA history. How does that feel?
Fortunate. I feel fortunate to be a part of it. Feel fortunate that we won both of those games. I can't imagine what it's like. I mean, someone had to lose, someone had to win, and I'm glad I'm on the winning side. And I was thinking about that honestly before. I said, well, I won one with the big crowd. I hope I don't come out and find out the other side on but we were able to do it again. So I've been really fortunate to be on the better side of having the fans. And of course, it happens because I'm coaching Ginebra. If I was probably coaching the other team, we probably wouldn't win. But because it's the Ginebra and those fans are for us, most of them, 54, I think probably at least 53 of them were for us tonight. And when we played Morocco, maybe 40,000 of us were for when we played Morocco back in the day. So as much as I would like to take the credit, I can't. It's really the crowd is the one that lifts all of us, including myself. You have great responsibility. You have to take care of it. What's Spider-Man's thing? With great what? Great power comes great responsibility, and our crowd has the power, so we have the responsibility to live with that. I always loved that Spider-Man. He's my favorite comic hero, by the way. I was growing up. I love Spider-Man.
Coach, about Christian winning the finals?
Yeah, I think it was fitting for Christian because he represented through the 7 games the hard work we had to do to stay with this team the whole way. He came out and I think it's really neat and cool that everybody recognized Christian, because usually you're not going to recognize that guy as the guy who does all the hard work and does the defense. He defended Nicholson early. He set all the screens. He's running all over the place. He just comes out and plays with such great fire every time, man. And And so I'm really, really pleased that he was honored for that and recognized for that, rather than just give it to the guy who's the top scorer. That's what we tend to do, and so I'm really pleased that Chris got it, and Chris deserved it.
Coach, how special was this championship? Because some people dubbed it as Philippines versus China, and in a way, you protected the PBA's pride by not, losing to a foreign team. Also, did you have any anxious moments during the game?
Well, yeah. I mean, you should have seen me before the game. I was a wreck. Yeah, you can ask my wife about that. The anxious moments came when we weren't playing well. There were certain stretches we just didn't play that well. Kind of lost our focus for a little bit, and you're always going to have anxious moments. But we kept the lead throughout the game, and it seemed like just when they were trying to make a run, they would miss a shot or they would miss a free throw and kind of put a damper on their run. So we kept saying at halftime, we're going to see them make runs. We're going to see them make runs. It's all going to be about us keeping our poise throughout the whole second half. But we never really saw that run. And again, I think that's a function of the crowd. The fact that the crowd just kept us, at a level where we weren't letting down. They wouldn't let us let down. We talked about it from the beginning of the series that we were playing for more than just ourselves, and we were playing more than just for Ginebra, and we were playing more than just for Ginebra fans. We were playing for fans around the country, and we were playing for the league itself. So that was always on our mind as we progressed through the whole series. Like I said earlier, we were angry that we didn't win it in Game 6, and we kind of brought that anger into this game. And you add that to the crowd, I think that's what really propelled us to playing as well as we did.
Coach, this is your 25th title. Do you think you can catch San Miguel Beer's 28th?
I didn't even think about that. I'm just, I'm a real Phil Jackson fan, and one of the things that Phil Jackson, one of my favorite quotes, if not my favorite quote of Phil Jackson, and in a long way I'll explain that to what you're asking. What does it go? I'm going to paraphrase it because it's kind of long, but he starts off by saying we're all about moving on. If things work out well, that's great. That's great. We're going to move on. If things don't work out well, that's great. We're going to move on. And so, I learned moving on from Phil Jackson. So for me, whether it's all about just moving on from that. I don't worry about whether it's 24 or 25. Just moving on, looking for the next one. That's trying to get our guys to play at a high level and give themselves a chance to win. That's basically my philosophy. So I don't worry about the numbers and such. I really, really don't. I don't think about it at all. It's all about just moving on. And again, I learned that pretty early in my career following Phil Jackson. From all the observations and the readings and that I did through the years of Phil Jackson, I felt that was the secret for his success in my study of him. And that's something I've tried to adopt.